Going on to you, Libra. So you have the Chariot, Seven of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, the Death card, the Page of Pentacles, the Judgment, the Five of Swords, the Six of Swords, the Nine of Wands, and the Devil. All right, so for you Libras, right? Okay, so one of the things that I'm seeing for you Libras is I'm seeing that a lot of you Libras have opened up your eyes to some things when it comes to just the experiences that a lot of you Libras have had, you know, and the Chariot, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Seven of Swords, it just speaks to how it is that, you know, you're not you're not really willing to, how do I say this? You're not really willing to get yourselves caught up, right? Because a lot of you Libras have seen a lot of people who played a lot of games with you, played a lot of games with your heart, played a lot of games with your time, your money, your attention, just all the effort that you invested into getting to know somebody, only for them to essentially act like they don't have any kind of common sense, right? And it just seems like those types of people never actually get away with any kind of consequences. Nothing ever happens to them where, you know, they have a dry spell where nobody decides to mess with them. It just seems like there's always somebody else that's just waiting in the wings and willing to get played the same way that those people tried to play you. And, you know, you really have tried, but it just seems like you always end up the one with the not so good end, right? Never having these type of endings. And the thing about it is, the Death card now represents, and that part of your life is pretty much over. You Libras are not putting yourselves on the back burner for people who are not really going to appreciate you being around, you putting in an effort to make sure that those people are okay, right? That they're doing well. You know, people shouldn't even be wasting time with anyone in the first place if all it is that they're going to do is just, you know, just waste time, BS. And then now when you Libras are getting a little bit more invested, which is already kind of hard for you to do, because a lot of Libras, y'all get to a point where y'all don't really, it kind of gets cynical, because a lot of y'all get to a point where y'all don't really believe in relationships like that, because y'all been through a lot of relationships to the point where you just you just start to play the game after a little while. But in essence, a lot of you Libras really realize that, you know, from experience and just time, a lot of people are not really real with this, you know. And yeah, you Libras have your faults too. You know, a lot of you Libras can be cheaters and stuff like that. So can Virgo. But the situation is that for you, whenever it is that you know, not all of you do that, obviously, right? I don't even know why we have to explain this. This should be obvious. But at the same time, it seems like even when you're trying to do right by somebody, it just seems like things end up not really playing out the way that you wanted it to, where people end up doing wrong with you. But when you out here and you're not really taking a person seriously, that's when they're super committed to you, right? And it's real backwards, it's real stupid, it's real dysfunctional. And the thing about it is that the Page of Pentacles now represents, but this represents you Libras anyway, still, you know, trying your hand, still trying to get to know people, not really getting discouraged. It's just that now you Libras know better. You know what to do now. You have a better understanding of how to apply the things that you've learned, right? And a lot of you Libras have gained some wisdom because you now understand, right, what are the signs, or what are some of the signs to identify someone who you have a better chance of having something real with, right? Because nothing and no one is sure. Nothing and no one is 100%, right? But at the same time, it's better odds of you having a functional and constructive relationship with them. That's you're learning how to identify that. And the judgment represents again, you Libras being able to just identify, just know what exactly is going on. You know what I mean? What's up? What's going on? What's brewing up before the person even decides to try to run a game on you. You Libras already like, nah, because you've already seen people from the past try to run the same game on you. And it's like they're so cookie cutter. They do the same thing. At first, I thought this was the Truman Show. At first, I thought someone was playing a prank on me, one big prank on me. I really used to think this was like the Truman Show for one point. And I was super paranoid because of it. But then I realized that through, living in experiences, that you really can't make this up. You can't bring these multiple people in a room and coordinate them to do this type of stupidity. You understand what I'm saying? So it ends up being real life. Like, okay, people really do this. And once you've seen that type of mentality a million times, right? How many umpteen times you really start to realize, like, these people are cookie cutter. They do the same thing. It's the same person, just a different shirt, really. And the Five of Swords now represents how the Five of Swords is like, because again, you just tired of, having to be the one to bleed. You know what I mean? You put in all your blood, sweat, and tears into something that you really want, into a person, or into a relationship that you really want to have, and a person that you really want to be with, only for it to be trash. So I just see a lot of you Libras just kind of not necessarily stopping, but just seeing it for what it is, And the Six of Swords, learning how to enjoy your own company at this point, very much so. A lot of fundamental things about you are changing. A lot of times in the past, you Libras may have wanted to be with multiple people because at one point you went through something very difficult where you didn't see the value of having multiple people in your life. But maybe now you do understand the value of having one person at a time, right? In your life, right? You didn't understand that value. You didn't understand the value of having multiple people or one person. But now a lot of you Libras do get it. You do understand. And because of it, a lot of things for you has fundamentally changed. So the Nine of Wands now is about, since that fundamental change, right? Since this break, since this last breakup that you've had, a lot of things have fundamentally changed. A lot of things, have not only fundamentally changed for you, but you've actually put it into action. And one of the things that have changed is, well, first and foremost, again, you're not going to overlook certain things, because Libras, y'all tend to overlook a lot. Y'all tend to be with the nonsense. Y'all tend to hang out with dysfunctional people, and you pretty much you like it. You get that from Aries. But then after a certain while, it's like you Libras have to really wake up and understand that type of way of living, that way of life, is trash. And then you have the Devil card, because all it's gonna do, right? Laying down with dogs, you're gonna wake up and have fleas. You're gonna have all types of individuals that coming around you, shady people who cannot be trusted, super selfish, right? Looking to sneak around you, sniff around, see what it is that they can get from you, take from you, and they will leave you with nothing. And you know, they have the ideology or the idea of their instant gratification and their whims are more important than you and what it is that they could have shared or what they could have had with you. So these are just some of the things that you Libras have taken the time to really come to the realization of. And the chariot denotes that a lot of you Libras, when you do get to know people, this is the first card that a lot of you Libras are going to actually really start to do a little bit more of your homework. Find out more about the person and don't just gloss over certain things because you may like them a lot, you know? So let's clarify the Seven of Pentacles. Let's clarify the Seven of Pentacles. You have the Six of Cups, the Emperor, the Four of Cups, and the Sun card, right? Because you will be tested very soon because an ex is coming back. You know, now that you've come to this realization, right, and you found out first-handedly that it isn't the Truman Show, it's not just a group of people playing a prank on you. You know, people really do act like this. You'll be able to handle it better, you know? And the Emperor represents, you realize that you have more options and that, you know, being by yourself or with someone else would be way better off than being with these dysfunctional people. The Four of Cups and the Sun card is about how, you know, you Libras really, you're not just going to accept anything, right? Just any old thing, you know, whatever the case is. And the Sun is about, you know, moving with self-respect now, you know, and a lot of people are going to get caught off guard, particularly the ex,